But they will have not each blood, but it Charles like that in honest shit. Wonder why? And give like $600 of us. It's okay, we have insurance. Hard no sport though. That's the dog. You could vary this. It's puts up there. And I think it's glad that you guys know one to sell for that or here. You know, so he's like, I didn't about that. I was more. She didn't like that. He started letting video watch so he should it was what I did somebody that was a 2 hours game. They almost let it for me. It's a bit of clapping for him. He's selling it. That he got to. Yeah, you should all get after the son. One of those things. But then on, sir, typically that thing. Wasn't good in the with the pants. That's for mine. Oh, they promise it. But now, that's what he said. The weather's off on the second word. Yeah, just for the water, just yeah. It's not that I get it. Yeah, I got it. It's one shit. I got to go for actively. The thing shout the water. I mean, just nobody see that. It's I got you. Face because for the point in, but I that's the thing. See, I'm going on an hour or so. My outlet cyber testing. You go down my first range. The application will miss it. That's a great voice out of it. Out there, should be there's about to be the years here. Correct. And you read the verse. Yeah, yeah. Top towns. What's the goal? Like, I mean, actually, this was just trying that they were supposed to do it. Every day here's doing something and to initiate and that's want to see what's in foot. So then it usually all trying was to come on. Go with the fifth program. Should have a plenty over here. Yeah, Mario, iPhone. Let's go. I'm okay. Can't wait. All right, I have 6 o'clock. It's another hours. And we're excited. This is great. That's what the like this. You never what that. It's bad. It's just hard. So you talked about was just dance. Why didn't you just kind of this foot? Maybe Canada go. See that. I remind you, this meeting is in order. This is all thinking. Yes, yeah, that this meeting. Okay, it's not with a tonight's people have an open forum night. So is there anyone who wishes to address core dash questions, get comments, anyone? You need to be to the reason. Mr. Miller, at the back. Do you want me to come up or do I get no much? I don't mind at all. Because I'm done. I noticed that Monday night the most veneration they will be actually the words the reason why these is really fun to and but you know we can't discuss this stuff on the agenda. So I just pop. What are you doing? If you had questions, we're gonna ask anything you want. You just can't respond to stuff that's not scheduled for discussion when I'm going to. That's totally that about our already trying to put one's grabbers yes question you can't ask. Well, because you could come up here and say, for example, what is CPO or others? Is the amount toy recognition that's in ability, the other tutor was with get stuff. That is only the purpose of public access and reps. The only thing we can respond to, you can make that's could try to make a suggestion. And instead, I don't know if the priest out where you don't still expedient because I am totally aware that people just can't ask public there it isn't it will come and completely be the summer to just reach out to them. There's the worth happy and tells that one pay. If you best to pay those. If the things be just to be outline, ice, vibrator, yes, counties, all the televised. So it was in treat at all to behind somebody the spot. We haven't had meetings as audience in specificism. So Sunday I've realized this you'd be that's a right comments. So I wrote put it on the next agenda. Grabs anyways for these that we think about it. They kill me. It's like the record like I told you. Thank you. You walk as well, Mike. Yes. The thing we all do, we just don't have it so we to learn the cameras because we thought mine. Hey, anyone else? Okay, going. Gone. All right. Thank you. You're welcome. Thank you for letting me speak. Up on. Okay. See. But to begin with, we have a full S2 electric company, TA National Grid, at Tishnam. They were going to ring this already. Number 31006756 Apple Road at Brimfield. This is a representative here from you okay. Could you please identify yourself? Get out the Bartles Rica to get over our intern about that professional bread. Okay. maximum depth. The floor, tell us about it. Chapter. Can't probably just better read out there, the what you call wire itself. So it's a state area. They can run and fall, so I could sort of weapons stun. This particular area, we're having vision tour. Then to relocate what poles and then because now the miracle. And I believe that in Astra, the Scouts Road, it's I correct it. You see, locally. Just it's for this is a low price right here. That relocate it pole is being the wax color bits for its the tourist the activity of the island or about it all being put in the type of here and it was span that goes from the current two pole from span about towards we try to keep all that's 150 175 this pole in the staff and just a the old polar line they want that all take in that range so it's a bit a little bit over but say the battle was a little bit extra definitely with Jamestown. I could be look because that whole it's almost a Trump or these type the other staff the people to you up in one more to the all to want there be a city or also people to be but just even his house about just a little bit more but that's a goal sorry you're in it. So the system in place could show the it's not it would accommodate any kind of new system going anywhere. Correct. So it's the defense the force maps started just a reason them to work they is the same stuff that the Stovian you see another raise like a quadrant areas. Did we have any questions or comments from the board members? I take some glad. Is there anyone here to ask questions about this particular coal placement? Today. All right, well, that's no question. Nobody has any other comments. You can take the street vote. If somebody wants to make a motion on this,
I'll make a motion that we approve the National Grid petition number 31026756 with Tableau Arlington Marble Sphere Dimension Site Cut. Cast comments and questions. Trade all in favor? Outside.
Fire eye.
Candlelight.
Delete eye. Days eight is closed. Thank you. Point of order. You skipped on the very front of the agenda. Say that again. You skipped on the agenda, the very top item. Board's response to this information on this. That's just part of the public access thing. And the study that the board respond to, it's hard to anticipate. I'm asked put that on here. So this is just on, and there are comments that need to be made. Thank you. Okay, next up on the agenda, we have the minutes of December 2nd, 2024, at December, this is time, House 224. Everyone had not put someone those over. Gang truck here. James, questions, comments, corrections, charges. All right, if there are none, all the states, folks go, each one choose away.
I'll
Jump it too far.
I'll make a motion that we accept the select board minutes from December 2nd, 2024 and December 9th, 2024.
Second. Cool. Questions or comments? If there are none, all in favor?
Adler's eye.
Swirl eye.
Fire eye.
Candlelight.
Billy eye. Let's see. The first one we did, but the first one, sorry. The first one was
Now it's time. One of it.
something y'all into. Just
So, that's it.
you see y'all. without them, so without them, something in the same. Okay, next up we have appointments and resignations. Every Mr. Moore here with a virtual service on Sunday. Now, you want to speak to this?
Sure.
Please.
So there's been some change. I've appreciated being the veteran service officer for the years I've done it. So it's great. I got to know our older veterans. It's great helping them involved. I enjoy the camaraderie. However, things have changed with the state and the VA and how I'm going to be able to help them because I don't work 96.5 hours a week as a BSO. I can't do anything with their federal paperwork. I can get it to them, send a form, give it to them, but I can't help them fill it out. So what I'm recommending, this is the benefit to the veterans, is we need somebody in that position who is federally recognized and certified. And you're not going to get anybody to come into town and just be the person, unless they're already doing it in other towns, because you need to fill out those 96.5 hours a week. Fortunately, our grave officer, Jason Berger, is a federally certified BSO, and he handles a few other towns, Wales, Hampton, and East Meadow. So if he has time that's needed to take care of our veterans, my recommendation would be, since he's already doing the time and the hours, is to place him in that position. I expect resigned to be end up talk the end of the year. So to get him in there for January 1, I'll recertify everybody before the end of the year. I don't have 4 million by recertify. But there's already somebody called me to do paperwork. But I said, hang on, we got a new guy that's regionally, but these are about too. So Jason is available to that, if he wanted, I don't know. But that would be my recommendation, because he's already doing the time. You can't just hire anybody out of the street to come in because they need to be putting in that 9.5 hours a week to do the federal stuff. So this is to better service our veterans.
Couldn't be with it.
Okay, so I'm going to do the town.
Let's introduce him because we are hearing and seeing this, so.
It's Jason. Jason's our veterans grave officer, and he was out there, 12 degrees this Saturday morning. The Boy Scouts be putting wreaths on all the graves for the veterans. So he's dedicated, and he is federally certified with the other 3 towns. So
And this will play. Did you want to speak to this at all?
I can speak. I'm federally certified in that BSL. I am accredited through the National Guard to do the MRO system, which allows me to look up veterans' IDs, DD-214s, if they lose them or misplace them. I have 3 towns. I would do Brimfield every Monday. I would just need a place to meet with the veterans, a printer, and that's pretty much it. I could do the senior center, whereas
Well, Kevin has some on.
we live it off. We share with the grave office.
right for me.
I like it.
Grave officers.
So
And you see,
other than that, designated Monday would be for Brimfield. I've already done 2 claims for Brimfield in the last 6 weeks. So I'm vested. I've been in town this no sister, I guess. So
good.
So that would be my designated town. What would have to happen is the board select them, vote on it, or whatever you guys decide, and then you have to reach out to my association, pretty much. So, the 90 cards,
This is fun enough. And now,
And you're
getting turned up.
and just because I say it's Mondays, it's not only Mondays. I'm in Wales. People from Wales, which can come to Brimfield, and they can come to Wales, or I can vice versa. I can be at Garrison, can't drive or whatever.
And that's something that's important too, because some of the veterans have discussed with me. I told one food was said they're worried that they, last time Mark was doing it, they had to go to Wales. Was holding office hours here. This isn't. And me personally, I'm just out of 3,000. There's 4 people I take care of right now. And I just handle it, the checks, then appreciate it. I get to see them and make sure they're alive. So you continue to pay on it. So that's one of those. You that dragon phone went to encompass.
And right now you have about 75 veterans in town getting federal benefits, which is 159,000 in changes. Come on, it's a year that they get federal benefits. So that comes in here.
if you look at, but excuse me, just to address me, what and if you look at on the business first, I am up is the discussion about the exercise, that plan potentially got okay. Does anyone have any questions for either of us town training?
Mr. Corey, you said you're signing as effective December 31st.
Yes, I'm staying on.
I just want to make sure.
Transition will be.
Right. I just want to make sure that there's no delay in the veterans.
No, they get recertified every 6 months, so they'll be recertified like 6 months away from what I do.
Right.
And it's just an automatic thing. So,
What I'm asking, I guess, is you be ready to go for December in January what instance?
Lies, this board talks to my district,
they have to turn Brimfield over to him, right? How it's up to by law here. So they have to get it. And we continue to do it.
Process, there'd be no delay.
Got supported. Yeah, but I could have January done and print off the last day of the bundle. I could print it off, have it child date to pay everybody, and then hopefully we can land it checks out and they're switching.
Kip, do you do anything else? Can you just talk about what you do within Wales? Are you doing anything special with veterans or anything like that?
like, what do you like? We saw it on the coffee hour. Hampton, that's every Tuesdays. The first Wednesday of the month in Hampton. I also have Hampton. I do coffee hour. And in Wales and Hampton, I sponsor next Tuesday. That means it was I it. I do with veterans at the house, whatever. Once if I get in the town of Brimfield, what I would do is I send out to you guys to the board to see, hey, meet the BSL. We'll probably do coffee and donuts, meet with everyone, give me my cards, tell them what new programs are out there. Because Masters did a wonderful thing in Hero Land. So property tax in the basement, non-CD for registration for vehicles that are 100% disabled. A lot of things that are out there now that happened earlier this year, a couple months ago. So.
Yeah, and I would make sure that I was Jason to the current veterans that we're working with, so that, there's a nice handoff to them.
Yeah, because it's not just supporting at 115, it's federally wants to.
Those are the ones that I deal with.
Correct.
Grads. That's it. Yeah, well, thanks. And yourselves. First of all, thank you to Kevin. I know that this is like in town for some late you thought would be better. That's it. And we did it there, 2 veterans. Well, we appreciate that. Life you. Move forward. So what's this all sounds really good. It seems pretty seamless, but what's the cost of the town? So my understanding was that you would be an employee of Wales, correct?
I'm sorry?
You would be an employee of Wales?
I'm employee of the Eastern Hampton County Veterans Association.
So that takes away the liability from us.
Correct. That's between you guys and that board. When you put the solicitation letter for me to join.
I'm not, again.
Yeah, I'm not a meeting counter. I don't know what the towns each pay. I just take care of the veterans.
That's pretty honorable. Well, we could take something out and go with the pay.
Yes.
All right. That's all but again, my question's pretty much been answered itself. And thank you. Thank Kevin for, just making it sad, I think, so I appreciate it. But, hard on hope distancing. Are there any other questions to comment on the board?
If I could, just so the board's aware of what this is we're basically we would be entering into an agreement with Eastern Hampton.
The county, let's sound this.
So before I reached out to FinCon about a month ago, give or take, because in a sense, I was curious on what this position was being funded for the dollar ago. So before Kevin, the person we had last time, basically was $10,810 annually, with an expense account of $1,925. So it's just a little over, $12,000. All right. take that in consideration, and over the years, the adjustments that have happened, just cost of living. Today, if we were to basically fund, again, if we go like we had last time, the budget would have been $12,402. But from the Eastern Hampton County Veteran Service District, we did get an estimate in our package that we'd be looking at, this year it would be roughly $12,348 to have Jason on, as our VSO veterans contract. So for years back, before Henry came on, for Jason to develop, I was about to say, so for years changed. What we're looking at is for Jason to start at January 1st, or is what we'd be looking at is $6,174 to get us from January to the end of the budgets. That we got to put a warranty in, of course, in your budget from that. This is it's sheer resources like we're doing the animal control concept, right? So it's like select boards, selecting solo mentioned that it's, basis of employer like seats. If I need tonight, so there isn't a lapse, I think our veterans deserve, I'm again in favor of this, on this move. I think our veterans deserve it. They, in order to move forward, you would have to have a motion, and the board would have to approve tonight, to enter into this agreement, ending the Eastern Hampton County Veteran Service District Committee of their board would approve, accepting us into their district, which their meeting is by today warrant. In the end. So we approve this tonight. Our office can send them an email. What's the goal was, that we approved it. Going for it, they will send us paperwork. I'd like to get that all of us for our next meeting on the 30th, so we can sign those contracts at the road forward, and that way Jason's his drive running first. So that's kind of where we're at.
Anything else?
Yeah. So if you spoke to them,
That okay with him?
I talked to him, yes. I told him what day I'd be here to meet Mondays, and then I could do Monday, and I'm in Wales on Thursday. So if I have no one there, someone here needs to see back across the street where we want. Come have me here and then go back to Wales, and vice versa.
So that could be thing. Just to with this. The kidding. Ava.
I just wanted to say I deal with a lot of the veterans at the senior center, and Jason has a great reputation from what I've heard. So I'm just not like to add that I've heard really good things from people.
Just so you know, I called on her because she has direct relationship veterans to the council at aging jobs. So I'm here with you and see. Okay. Everybody's all set now. Right. Get a motion on this?
I'll make a motion that the town of Brimfield enter into the contract of Eastern Hampton County Veteran Service District pending approval of the Eastern Hampton County Veteran Service District Court. I second that.
Sorry. Wait, at least then, as of January 1, I'd like to put date this in the clock.
As of, that's fine. As of, okay, cool. Yeah, so, stay Hamcott.
It's a meeting at what's that?
No. She's saying it go in effect as of 1. So, to amend that, pending the board's approval, to go into effect as of January 1st, 2025. And
All of a sudden, if we do that, we're going to ask those reasonable to the board. Okay, then why don't we make the motion to accept the resignations or get to a case of that position? I want to say we join this committee, but we don't have people for the job. So in order to do that, I want to accept one and to resignate.
you want to be separate?
I get them.
So,
we might do it.
let's do that. Let's table that last on your first.
Please. Okay, that's fine. It's fine. Try to get this up now. So,
All right, I'll make a motion to accept Catherine Spores' resignation to Veteran Service Office. Let's go.
second half. Any discussions? Good. Thank you, Colin. Okay. All in favor?
Adam's aye.
the last 2 by batch, grand a lot, yeah, next brother,
Think him second. Like,
read that solution.
I restate the motion.
I was Thursday, yes.
So I make a motion that the town of Brimfield enter into a contract with the Eastern Hampton County Veterans Service District to provide veteran services to the town beginning effective on 1/1/25, pending approval from the Eastern Hampton County Veterans Service District Board.
I'll second that. Discussion? Read if there is none, all in favor?
Adam seconds.
So do I.
McGuire,
With the lot.
Kill aye.
Yeah. Adam. So in Teresa, tomorrow morning, he said, I'll get you, is it Pam's email? Yeah. It's,
Yep.
yeah, to be in the right quarter of those.
Catherine, previous appointment. Yeah, that. Sets you go. Normally appointed by the towns, but tip.
No, I was hired by the district.
Okay.
And encourage.
Okay, thank you very much. 18.
Thanks.
So, okay, Nick's does check to poison that is correct district. Keep still down the agenda by just solo. One is the red collection of the rest. I'll get 5 rate position. Take jolly great lessons. This tube is its calls and older enough. I'll be using to be a term behind the market. First, they can the second one, he grab the sheet from the down clerk in the elections workers and reflected for attorney to Mr. Silver. I want to say that apply. We certainly appreciate it. I would partners and accept others in their jobs day to day. Share it, particularly Tennessee people, which to know member. Next on top of that. One reservation I have with this is I all for recognizing people that are doing a great job. So, not however a fan of just kind of cherry picking from the eyes and order to people and not the rest. So, Mr. Solo would consider making this a day or a employee appreciation as opposed to order to departments. I think that would be a wonderful message. So he said that all the employees. Now, having said all of that, Mr. Solo, you have the floor up. Thank you. So, my green need for recognizing the St. Hiles Barty / Steve Devon was more of to have a day of recognition. I wanted to actually sit with Zach before this came out, but time didn't allow it. But my feeling is to see what I've seen in other cities and towns where they have like DPW Day, they take out the trucks, they bring all the kids and get out the trucks and just meet the DPW for the highway workers. So that's kind of my vision, what I like to see. But again, I wanted to see with that, to see what's like a date, so give you some time for this time that this can happen. I know from what is that it's okay to table this like you with Zach. Well, I'd be happy to take that as a motion, like it's what is the end of the recommendation. So if you like the table it, you want to make that motion, like all these things. That's right. I'd like to, until I mean is that, it gives him my ideas and stuff and what I've seen across the state. To mother state, like to do that. To the cake, kid, all right. We have a second on table in this.
I'll second it.
Okay, is there any discussion? Okay, hearing none, all in favor?
Adam side.
So do I.
McGuire,
Jingle eye.
Kelly, aye. That is table. On to the same or on to so for the election division, also myself, that I come from that. I've been 25 years of experience in such a state's audits across the state. And I was able to witness, two presidential elections and everything. And one of the things that witnessing the one here was pretty impressive was how our side with 70 plus people that voted and how it was so seamless. And the dedication and the staff here, being a smaller town, you don't have folks that take shifts. These individuals, from the officers that were there to the top, they're there the whole time. That's a long, long day. And I think it would be to it really fit to recognize each individual on behalf of the town for this, and also the town clerk. I mean, yeah, to have that sort of seamless election, it's really, it's not very, really isn't, and so that's why I wanted to recognize each individual there, and also the town clerk. Yeah, so again, I'd like to table this, let Bob Paulson sit down and with the town clerk, when to figure out exactly what it is. Would you like to make that this moment? Yes. Think about table this until I have to review it. I'll be able to ask not just like to sit down with the town clerk.
President, I agree with Kyle, hard-working employees in town, and to single them out. I have agreement with Mr. Kelly. If we want to recognize our employees, then let's just have a day in the spring and have everybody be recognized, whether it's to meet on common, with food trucks, or whatever. I think that gives
More to do.
more powerful. It's more powerful than recognizing each individual department. I'm all for about recognizing employees, but I think we can do it as a group.
They can, into the building department, the electrical,
We said money.
maybe recognition too.
Everybody does a great job, just like you were saying, for very little compensation. Kind of today, I don't know that in this one, you know what I mean? So, all right, so we have a motion and we have, let's do the second of that.
Like I said, I will second.
All right, any further discussion on this? Sorry, all in favor?
Adam's like,
So do I.
Fire rank.
have the log.
Kelly, aye. Let's get the right lunch.
Sure.
Okay, next, people compensation. Next up, we have review of the building department administrative assistant hours. And it's, we all, recall roughly a month ago, to me, increased the hours for the assistant to the building inspectors by 2 hours a day to COVID did. And we made a commitment that was review this in 30 days. So this is what brings us to where we are today. Well, that means that the building departments will now get a chance to make the case where you need to implement the dollars. And so who wants to speak on this?
Have said, and I guess,
Do me a favor, just identify who you are, some of the people who want.
can be up to what the assistant at the building department. So I did get 2 additional hours to it when it's spout to get on, but what's joking? For this, like under, so that really additional hour. I just don't be able to pay, but again, your codes are changing, on framework, everything's gonna have to be changed on the website, so again, above and beyond the day-to-day. Give a nice additional hour to do.
Can you speak to, just so that all board members understand, can you speak to the additional work that to be picked up, shaking on both?
With just everything, Ray was saying tonight, that's additional for driving the people because, trying to install those emails. And he just kept started with him as a train for October, that was kind of a plus payments, just in a bus of months. And just double that, yes, Shabbat's baker and see so you do me, Dolly.
What's that? With the elliptical aspect, I saw you didn't go to distance of rate. Whenever you're ready, go.
All right. Scott Brimfield, town of Brimfield electrical inspector, 22 years in town. Been here a long time. Almost as old as Marty.
No,
But so I thank the board for what you guys have done. It is taking a giant burden off of me because I'm an electrical inspector. I'm not a data processor. And so a lot of stuff that I can't do, I do it, but I can't do it. Is she has taken that burden off me tremendously. So some of the things that she does that I used to have to do, I'd spend a Thursday night, then the following Sunday doing paperwork because of my inspections during the week for the customers and the people approaching. But
she asked to check something that they said. We have, the state of Massachusetts says you will use a paper clock to vote. They say that it's mandatory. But they also give you the option of electronic device. 9 out of 10 electricians are not using the electronic devices, unfortunately. Maybe in 10 years, it might be different. So every paper that comes in has to be put on the computer now. So you have to process the hard copy paper that comes in first. So that's one step. Second step is she's going to have to put it on the computer. And when she does the computer, she does a background check. Does this person still have a license? And is there insurance on the account? So it's not just pop this in and done. It's called do this now. They send the wrong fee. They do that all the time, and I think they do it on purpose. So the fee's supposed to be $120. They send 90. She makes a phone call. She sends me an email. This person, this permit number, which the outlet isn't yet because wrong right fee. So she calls them or emails them, typically called or wiggly, and does the follow-up to that. So she's doing that other step, which is fantastic. If you want to know that before we issue a permit, taxes. If taxes are not paid, permits should not be issued. I had no way of knowing at my house when I was doing the processing there if taxes were paid, and I apologized to the tax lawyer because there was no way for me doing it if she could do it. And that's over and above what just data processing. 3 hours a day, in my eyes, it should be 5 hours. It's a lot of work. 15 hours, 20 hours a week. I spend 12 hours on Sunday, but only once a week, which why God did this, because I would delay my entries. I could only do it once a month. You know, I couldn't do it every week or every day. So what she's doing is fantastic. And it really brought my department up to the next level. So I applaud you guys for giving me it. And I would love to see her get that one extra hour. 3 hours. And that is what we talked about the night we had the meeting. We did talk about her having the 3 hours. I thought that as it was most commonly, yeah, 5 would be ideal. But I think 3 is the real best option. I fairly do.
But thanks, Colin. The next question is how I need. Got. And listen, I have a suggestion. The next time they send it $90, it's supposed to be $125. Send it back a note that says it's $150. I bet they know it's $125 is that.
You sound like you put it in it. It was like that.
It's a lot.
Yes.
You guys copy a computer too. Try to share that email. So we have correspondence with people that are trying to see and assist a little bit. That how many people do? A lot. So that computer that you guys spoke, but we finally have my email going.
Please.
But her and I share that, so we can both communicate. She can check me and check out her. So it's almost like a redundant system. It's almost foolproof. I'm sure some 7-year-old kid will be able to hack it.
I do have a question for you.
Speak loud and deaf though.
So I do have a question for you, and that is, how many requests do you get, say, the third day? And I know it varies by months and
How many requests
sure, yeah,
Well,
on average.
so you got 2 things. You got permit requests, then you got inspection requests. So you got 2 things that she's fielding both of them. Permit requests, we do about 150 requests in the town of Brimfield a year, right around there. But there's usually 3 inspections per that. So 450 contact ones, minimum. A minimum.
Thank you.
It's a lot. In Brimfield, I do several towns. Brimfield is my busiest town. That does not, that's just for the people of Brimfield. That doesn't include the flea market. The flea market, well, those permits do. But when it comes to flea market time, it's busy.
Good. Are there any questions from the board members for anyone other? Thanks.
So I'll ask a question. In talking with FISCA back in 2021, your office, your position, I added 4 hours of FERDAC requests so you can manage permit pro. And so I think that's, but I'm kind of curious on what's changed, because when you go online, the purpose of online, it saves. The purpose makes it easier. I understand if there are contractors that don't want to, refuse not to use it online, and they have to accept the hard copy as we talked about, as I shared, that's why some towns charge a fee, a process fee, because someone's got to enter that all in. So if there's so, I would engage to seeing that data coming back, because I think it's something we should look at. That would encourage more contractors to use it online. It would free up the time. So, but I guess the question is, what happens when you ask for 4 hours? That time compared doing electrical,
And like this started electrical on October 21st when this became additional hours and something that I was just doing there.
Yeah, and I think the point at the time was we weren't sure what that picking that up was going to do to the amount of work they have. And I did speak to the board, my board, who wants more of the state. They said they don't care about Permanent Pro or any other program. They want that hard copy. So we have a redundancy portion. All right, sorry.
no, it's again, I was just curious when we were researching all this, and I go back in 2021, you got the extra hours in the Pocket Pro, and I understand and Scott into it. And I appreciate Scott being honest too. It's a lot of work, so it's good to hear that's working.
When we brought Pretty Pro online, and I wasn't doing anything with them though, other than accepting or tying on it. So if somebody mailed in a copy, I wouldn't go in Pretty Pro, put it on there. So I was only giving my original Excel spreadsheet of hard copies. So I never did that in your time, but it was all done by whoever contract or was. Then the way she's doing it now, having her do that, we have one stop shop with anybody that's gotten a late to credit card. They can almost and they can go on every day and look at their address and see if there's a permit available. So it's really nice tracking. It's that's on how they should be worked in. Back. Do you have comments, questions? I mean, we were meant to all sing the evidence.
I'll make a motion that we give her 1 extra hour
A week. Today,
a day.
I think, from trade, from spring, 4 extra hours. Yeah, so crossable. It couldn't say 4.
4 extra hours per week. But
Take it to your motion.
there's 4 extra hours per.
Best. But just to be clear, we'll assume it's one answer because Sherry has on it.
But that's 1 extra hour.
One was the total per day.
Per day, so a total of 4 hours.
A week. Correct. Yes.
I just want to make sure that this board has that ability to do that. I know there was a question, Tom's like whether or not we have the ability to do that.
It's the next fully question.
Hey,
But let me tell you why it why does this Marie, you want to speak to that?
I'm listening.
She's who we get our information cycle. Why don't you, would you mind moving up so that we can take most of you? This might be up here and there. Yeah, the beacon. There's one address. That. How about? I thought there was a conversation that was had about dealing with in the middle of the fiscal year, record all the increases and all the stuff they incurred us talking about. And your opinion and silent was that this has been done before, and this is the first time that we've done that, and because we don't have a town meeting in the fall, there is no way to adjust that. And rather than go for 6, 7, 8 months without being able to provide these services, it ended that this was completely legal, legally appropriate, ethically correct, but no subterfuge hearing.
Then it would be nice enough to deserve what you paid script on the finance to fund position, but because your town does not do or do not have farm town aids, you have no mechanism to justify this apart from any of your decisions. That's the fact that TJ selected. Does that?
I think so.
Yeah. Any other questions about that? All right.
So what was the motion?
We close most it down. The most before you set, let's be legal. Because I think we can use some numbers and hours was that we should put 2 hours a day now. They picked up the last time. That's how many days? 4 days, right? So that's 8 hours.
Correct. All right, voted all.
Right. How what you were saying is 4 hours. Oh, for the additional, yeah, yes, correct. Okay, I just want to make sure that we're clear this out. Okay, sir, that's that.
The Washington Austin shares some. It's an hour a day. 4 of those take 4 hours. It'd be 4 days.
Can I just add one more thing that I even totally forgot about? The most important thing. With my delay of 30 days of me doing my day or 30 days give or take, she's doing check turnovers. My checks that come in for permits, every week. Every week, my monies that came in are being turned over. And so that alone, I think 20% of that money goes right back into the town to help the bid. It really does. And then the rest of us get a salary of these positions. So there is a surplus of monies with the fees come in already. I know we talked about possibly charging people $10 or whatever it was per thing. I'm not sure if that's legal with the state board, my electoral board, because they're mandated into a system. But I know another town does it. And
Some guy in this board suggested that.
I'm sorry.
Someone here suggested that.
There was not a suggestion, but an opinion. Maybe we could do that because just a thought. There's no suggestion.
It's one of the thoughtless or something up.
And my opinion on that was I didn't think it was legal because the state mandates this. We opt for this, which changes this, so you can't charge the people for it.
No.
But I'm not a lawyer, so
That to me it sounds like it's boiling on inappropriate taxation, charging them extra company fees to use. So I would
Like,
that
right, but Mark and I visited
was about.
Westboro, and they charge just a processing fee. That's all that is. So you cover them in out that it takes. Because it's more than a minute. It takes someone's application, sit there, type it all in, print it out, your writings, and that they explain to us that actually that encourage more contractors as the online, instead of using up their resources to enter the
we did just raise the electrical permit fees for the first time in 9 years. So they've been stable, flatline for 9 years. We finally raised it, and it wasn't much. It was like 23%, I think, overall. So, but that will also help offset the bust. I think I said prove that raise.
If we could make an amendment into that, into falls, ending FinCon's before ending FinCon's correct. So they'll need to go to FinCon and display your alternative to them, so they have a lot of this. Go with what to the questions.
So I like to make a moment that goes to FinCon first or Trumbull.
Great, we can approve it, and then it just goes to FinCon after they're reported.
To be asked. They just go. No.
I believe, out of courtesy,
It'll be curse.
but for them, it's like it's right. I mean, it's I would heard to say they were good to say ground to try to stand by. Like great.
Until intended. And that's well said. So great chances with.
I can give you some.
All right. Does anybody else have a comment on what Mr. N was just?
I'm all about communication, but I don't know if that has to be the function. I think this board have let FinCom know what would be cited. And if they're against it or have any issues about it, then that would be discussed.
It would be for to both let us see like up to.
Can I ask anyone from the board check with FinCom about the funds, where they're coming from? Before we go with the free, some people are not sure like how that's. I know Breeze here, but that's how does it?
See, well, I think the only place should be getting them from really is reserve fund transfer, right? Well, the finance, they does have to line item for reserve fund transfers, that start in the fiscal year with $120,000 provide for shop funds in the departments.
We can thank you. Do it. In question. So yeah, just let's go ahead. Grow the meeting and read it. This we're just gonna delay things. I mean, when this within combination, right? What are you? It'll meet when necessary.
They will be starting their meetings the end of January.
Yeah, so that means that I would just like to bullet it if you have the time, but I don't know. If you something like to say, oh, it's the answer. What?
It was answered.
Now, what is my good? All right.
So if you get the extra, what is making up for that?
That was your 20.
What?
Okay, do we have a second on that motion?
You're done. Although, well, that's I gave the advantage to this now. We have to. What?
Everything cares, be lend.
I think back there, but I mean, so we get a signal. I don't think it do we.
All right, so he could just resend it, because we didn't get a signal.
Because I can't count it.
Okay, so we're back to the original, which is a 1 hour a day, 4 hours a week. We get to, so we do have a motion on that. To get a second that. Okay, we have a second. Any further discussions? All right, all in favor?
At that sort of like
Go ahead.
and like
Kelly, aye. We have the white back here. Appreciate it. And we'll talk.
Haggard to trust. That is
Cheers. Thank you for submitting it Excel. Okay, next up is a discussion about the administrative assistant's position at Philly's that I thought, as we know, last meeting, found about the 26th of December was retreat. Since the last day or my son, you being there extra audience. That's the last day. I did ask Teresa to host the job, get both through while I asked about if that makes work those. It is so please share on that since I was space system. I'm assuming good to see. So I did ask her to post it, and I asked her to just post the job without posting the salary. Hands are somewhat tied with that because giving an extra few hours to somebody who's already working and taking up additional work is one thing, but we're not going to be able to just increase and pay the administrative assistant till the town meeting. So having said that, we don't have a cost though to pay for that position. And I thought it was a good idea to not put the salary in on there for the time being to see what interest we get. And then today we got one party interested in the job. So when I read the qualifications, I realized that there was no way this person was taking it for the money that he had left. I didn't even talk about, but I doubt it. I think he's actually an attorney, so it's probably not going to work for him. It's $8,000 a year. So, but in the short run, you do have an assistant that works for us in Gris, and I'm not saying anything off on him, but I did speak to him and asked, he's thought over the next month or so, how long it takes us to get some candidates started to be illegal. Whether he would feel comfortable at doing things like setting the agendas, doing the mail and the emails and things of that sort. The account will be at a dead stop till we find somebody. I did ask our assistant to print up copy of the uniform procurement laws, which are now in the office on top of the files again, and get those other books. So if anybody has a question on that, I wouldn't be comfortable relying on reading it what's going up into this thing, but at least we'll have some assistance for that. And so other than that, I don't know what else.
And I would just like to know, so what is the process? Stuff finding a new guy with it. So you posted, what was the job posted?
I think
it was 10 last week, got ready, MMA.
Yep.
Website.
Yep.
and evidence been sent over to the papers, and it's supposed to on the town's website.
And we thought that it's critical to do this sooner rather than later, as we don't have much time. Because the good news is, historically, this is a relatively slow period for us, so like shouldn't be getting like.
So as the resumes and start coming in, as the applicants start coming in, then what happens? Have just
Yeah, we'll take.
myself at the level.
Yeah, we would take, like any other job, we've been taking from the interested parties, and hopefully we get some. Okay, I will make all of those. Well, we'll try to make them all available to everybody else, so that you can review these and maybe send in an opinion. You might say, well, I like candidate B, seems right, or you know what I mean? And call it down. Well, we should call it down. Be lucky to get the candidates, but in a perfect world, we'll be looking for a way to get it down to a handful of candidates to do interviews with, cut the gigs to ensure they make some what we think. And people make them, and so go ahead.
And what the job is posted, and it gives a publications all that. Is that coming? Where's that coming from?
Maybe.
So
We had a job description.
okay, no.
Oh, we had a. Oh, yes.
You never know the
job.
that, like,
What's that?
and that stayed the same from what.
Yeah. So close in fact. And it's when we get a candidate that comes in, and then the discussion is, we decide we want to maybe get or say, well, okay, maybe, is this something you feel correct with? But, these are all things that I'm going through the interview process. And when Teresa came here, came to at least two, right? Going to a interviews too.
Yeah, at least 10.
So, we would generally we'll go through, interview people that we have, or get together and say, okay, these are all people with the strongest candidates. You just lay that back for a second to talk, like, and that's what he will have you say. Okay, any other questions on that?
It's a very well-drilled question. I had like more comments. A lot of this is I personally, as the board, have pledged it all. Well, the we is that decided all this.
Decided what?
To put no gay couple, decide all this.
And be me.
So as a board, you should be coming to all of us. We should be this way.
Did you just that's okay? Did you happen to know doing a water year? This is why. We couldn't afford to take a week off because we are so asked to do
Something else. So the administrative assistant, as a business person, I would never expect anyone. Here we are talking about retire all of our staff and let's recognize everyone. No, not everyone's good. That's number one. Number two is that a person that steps up to this, a vacancy steps up, they need to be compensated. To say that if the wing to the town, we just gave somebody, Marie just said there's some town LiDAR that TikTok has $100,000. Why can't we tap into that to compensate Chris? Those should be the type of thing. I mean, for him to work for the same amount of money with more responsibilities, it's ludicrous.
First of all, the answer to your question, the difference between those two items is at the beginning. When Henry of the building department added unforeseen work up in her plate, okay? Can't say that being the assistant to the board of selectmen is unforeseen work. It's posted. That's what we pay for that job. The town board decided that, okay? The town board did not have an opportunity to make a decision on 4, 5, 6, or any other number of hours adding some of these work schedules. So those are, you're comparing apples and oranges here. Was it two completely different things?
Again, that's what someone is to do. We're asking someone to step up, team, and work. We don't know how long this vacancy is going to be. It's not fair for that individual. Sure, he has family, friends, and stuff that he's, we're going to be taking a lot of that time from that. I'm assuming. I mean, you yourself consume all the time with Teresa, printing out emails. You don't read emails and all that stuff. I can't imagine even how much time she spent catering to your needs. We don't need somebody to be able to have to do that to all of us. I mean, maybe he needs to be compensated somehow or at some point. I mean, I have responsibilities that go with this that you don't have to worry about. All right. So it's devolving into ways to a person.
So until
Nothing personal. Please don't take anything personal. These are facts.
to let me state that. So again, he's saying if Chris is going to take on some of the load until we find some. Doesn't need to be a reserve transfer fund, reserve fund transfer. That position already exists with money in it. So simply, if Chris is going to become our assistant for the temporary, then basically we just need to figure out what that dollar amount is that we want to adjust his pay. That comes out of that existing line item that's already there. Right,
That is absolutely correct.
Yes, so we can compensate him for the hours once we figured that out. But I really don't think we should not get employed to work more than not being compensated for. But the money, my point is the money's there.
Yes, that is an accurate statement. However, the extension of that is we haven't even asked Chris to do this at this point. And so we're arguing at the moot point. They say, I know I'm just doing it. So I'm just telling you that I had found that off and no answer was done. So, okay.
So as of right now, when Patrice leaves, Chris is still going to be doing his whatever hours he was before. Right?
And if he decides to something we can take on, that we can adjust the pay accordingly, we pay it under the account of we pay Teresa.
And I think I'd like to also say that, Mr. Soto, your comment about recognizing all employees, so that some kind of limited that some are some bad employees, and I, for one, do not believe that. I believe that all our employees are doing their jobs and do that nice. So when you say that, was a dig to employees.
All right, now we're the grand state. All right, let's move on.
That's things.
Thank you. For months, I take that in suit. Okay, so we're all set up this issue our heavens. All right, next up we have the consideration of departmental requests received for the opera funds. At the last meeting, we spent an iron share of those funds that the fire chief had asked that we to put this to that he had offered on hold. There is a video. I assume we're all set on those now? Yeah. Get up there. Okay, I get all the votes in. So we went to go to the vice chair. Okay, so, and the other one was for the council on aging. It's $1,000 to assist with these people for the utility assistance program. Okay, so we're being told that the fire department is okay, so they're good to go. And so if somebody wants to respond since out of the fire department, let's see if they have to get those two taken care of.
Then you a separate amount to give.
Come here, folks.
I'll make a motion that we approve $34,123.86 for the fire tank SCBA refill station for the fire department.
And then I decided to make power funds.
Hosking because I'll be on my months.
Thank you. Thank you. Wait a second.
I'll second that.
You should listen to that. This can get on me. There may be a suggestion. I don't know what call. I don't know. I would tell others when people what to do. But I'd never be sick then.
Understand?
I mean, you could just say to Jackson, put it on Craig. Well, so would someone else like to check?
Oh, I'll second.
Okay. All right. All in favor? Motion.
Oh, I can't say. I'm sorry. I'm on that one. So, someone's got a second.
I'll second that.
Okay. Mr. Did you ask me to fall for a show? Well, we're taking it. All right. So we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion on this? All right. All in favor?
Adam's guidance.
Why, right?
The candle will abstain.
Kelly, I to the dogs.
But
I fully support, but I'm not going to say, yeah, please. That is easy to go to your house. We can do.
I'll make a motion that we approve $13,576 from the ARPA funds for fire hose replacements as specified by the fire.
Second that. Any new discussion on that?
Listen,
Hearing none, all in favor?
Adam's aye.
So do I.
why, right?
Randall abstain.
Kelly, aye. Last on the list is the sole surviving $20,000 for the Council on Aging Utilities Assistant Program. And I will, I know, I've been told that Ava King here specifically to speak to that. She was not able to do that the last time, so I will give you an opportunity if you like to speak to that. But I would ask you to step forward so that we'll be able to make.
First of all, I'd like to say thank you for considering it. I know there was a little tough that I speaking to these on Ariel and Gary. Told to treat that 10 words of grab was. I just said it in different gardens. So as far as the band went, we could rely to understand that that type of basic man wasn't necessary first in just risking as some talks. I think folks, this fight is very working. Dan is out capital plan for next year. Grants available next year. I'm not sure they qualify, but will be grants speckle. So it's like clarify that safety or if you consider like things.
The way
We help village out.
Yeah. My understanding was that you had specifically requested that ban being pushed out to 26. Is that accurate?
It was because the end has less than 60,000 miles on it. It's garage, it's Russ, giving us an amazing job of keeping it out. So it couldn't be pushed out 26. So, I'm glad.
Any discussion on this particular bill?
Before we do, I would like out of the 20,000 to set aside $4,620 of that 20 to do the crack patching in the cemetery for the ropes because they desperately in.
Here's the color mark. Was doing good. The color's point is, and I said this last time, quick Peterson, they will say it again. Okay. When we gave the highway department, cemetery commission $22,000 for the older, and it does it fairly generous, often, and get because they did accept it. I argued the last time because the people who need this line, they're talking about members of our community need this money to keep the heat going in the winter, to keep the lights on, and to be honest with you, if I had money, I would give a good lot more than that, because I think that, this is exactly the sort of thing these grants designed that is to help people. The R in the whole ARPA is recovery, okay? And people have had a hard time after COVID, and we know that, it's about struggle. That's why we also gave money to the charting fund, because I know that they help with families that need things, not necessarily cheap lights, but more in the area of food and rent, things of that sort. And so I think of all the ones that we did, in my opinion, those two are most important because those greatly helped me in the horsemen. So I am adamantly advocating for the $20,000 bill. I think that that's critical, and I can't think of any better use for that money.
So if I can add, I think it's important. I'll repeat. I think everyone sitting at this table feels exactly how they feel about helping those that need help, and those that know me. I mean, I said at the last meeting, it even knows, I'm there when someone needs it. always have been. ARPA funds were intended to help offset tax outlay. That's what it's for. We've already given to the revenue. We already have, was it 18 or 20,000, is it? Or 18,000, 20,000 that's currently in the account right now.
Well, we haven't started lifting yet.
We have started. No, I'm sorry. No, you're right. But again, today I think it's been 60,000. Is that
68.
68,000 of ARPA funds we give for this program. Right. I think taking $4,600 roughly out of that 20,000 there'll be enough funds for those residents that need assistance this winter. Okay, and there'll be some left over for the next winter. These residents, if any, personally, I would have rather put the 20,000 all the Harding Fund because the Harding Fund has zero restrictions. These residents have to be on SNAP or a fuel assistance program. They're already getting assistance. The way this was sold to the board at the beginning is the way I interpreted it was that when those funds run out, so in other words, come March, if the fuel assistance runs out, the resident needs more help, keep the key on, it's a longer winter or what have you, then those funds were there for those persons to grab those funds. And that's where Eva stepped up and put the form together and all that stuff. Now, it's been changed, and we're giving those that need it. We sign them every, pay cycle and sign the once in a while. So residents are getting up to $500 to help electric persons, what have you. Again, we have enough funds in this account. It's going to go away by 2026. It's not going to be that this thing's going to go away. We'll have enough the ARPA funds. So, but my point is we have enough the residents this year to take, roughly $4,600 out and patch those roads, the cracks in the cemetery, which have been neglected for years. I don't think it's too much to ask.
Then participate, dance, lead that.
You basically,
First of all, George, where at this was first girl, and how
Oh, yes, I was.
outside
Yes, I was.
get the shooting man to a street, amen, or that give up. But we the air get there, wait for some ground. That you like, it's like don't wait till they run hot spots. Because you like that late, they're out boy. You would companies from better unless they have buttons. That kind of trying to. It was just, it doesn't cover the entire one injured part to deal with. And some,
Right.
so that's why I started in January. What I wanted to start in January is just to be this line. That $20,000 should take us in truthful years of distribution to despite. That's why I asked, obviously I asked at 30 because you weren't sure what people are with how much in the slot they're not. The way to keep folks decide that watering it the cemetery, that's fine. But I'd like to understand why I do this and why I don't start why I start being with me and then where it needs to be there ahead of time. Yes, in most cases right now I'm giving it where they're on the bonus. Okay, so they can save down or healed.
Look at it.
They're on looks salvage. They just say it's for our accountant and our treasurer and even like that. I'm got to get into many questions that's Emma.
I guess so much 4,000 that you're asking for to move cemetery, George.
Okay.
That really done that brings us towards myself. Okay, and that would essentially take me to 2 years.
Yeah, I can give out until the fun. Basically, so can you give me, I just want you to understand why you would play to it. I'm not fighting for 20 and right steal the cemetery, needs repair. I'm not even look at anything that's helpful, which is scheme I can't make. But that's one to understand why my sir in January
this wanted to frame this point. I might say that short time is something made arm and it does not know that. You list yourself though. Thank you. Thank you. So Michael, so are the individuals that are asking for this, are they the same ones every year?
yes.
They call save want. They call save want. They call save want. They call save want. They call save want.
Yes. Listen, if they say to be grind
skills probably years or something, but I'll say what? Yes, reason they say the grand skills probably years or some ALS. These people can get either sound like advanced fuels, like all, or you know, they're on a of some sort, meaning shot your yeah, it's already with people.
Right. I mean, so the same individuals, like, how many are we talking? And then channel.
Gosh, it varies. As I mean, needs the first year I went to the majority of times, is that
No, I think that I said the ones that are not the same folks, maybe with 3 years to say you how many about you might be asking for a hit. How many people actually think I get?
well, honestly,
Because if you have the same folks, like I think the same folks asking every single time,
that's
something needs to be or something right. It's a little as a person who has this encouraging you are all
people, like, you know, we belongs to essence of the
totally understand. When Floyd was my good, baby, and so
together. So it does use a lot to say people, the same down at what, you know, sure, in and out, in town, just so that they,
I appreciate that, and I think you're an exceptional way to.
it's like, just want you nice to hear.
But I am in favor of reducing the amount to 4,600 to some my biggest thing with them developing.
Anybody else?
With water, again, it's but they didn't consider my instinct. I'm going to business to be needing carbon. I would like to have it good thinking from the 12 of George. I just go along.
I know, see,
Kind of bored. It was, you know, veterans are in solidarity, showing off like what we did.
that's right.
You know, it's like, man, the veterans that dropped the Jesse, they're veterans. Yes, what? So it would be nice, but I don't want to take it away. Said, yeah, we had 6 days that didn't get fuel, but if you wanted to take a look,
I will say that as far as that, sir, George mentioned for very fun, but I didn't speak to that just a minute. My understanding is, in the past, the very much basically, the money in 3 different places, but what was the school, almost in future. My understanding is they're opening now some more. Like my about it has meant for a few years that I've asked, right? Then expect that.
It's in advance that gets money to get the federal funds.
Yeah,
We can't add to that. Getting so when the Harding Fund folks asked this, it was specifically to the benefit of the voting thing, and that's what we get from the I don't and other nations they use. They knows.
so and we got copies of like it's my new outreach work. It's a task on the subite already contest and paper about.
You're good.
So yes, I think they should cooperation technical. So because that makes sure this is it was easier. Good.
From all right, at this point, that I'm going to ask someone would like to make a motion on this. And something I'll make a motion that she can to get $4,000 to the back into a means.
And what that before that
4,600 down.
4620 is the highway. So we would
The highway.
rescue, yeah, that's it.
Separate.
But we would be making a motion then for the utility program for 15,480.
No, free government.
Yeah,
it's just,
I'm sorry, 300.
let's start with the first motion, which is willing selling tree.
Was there clean? All right, I'll make a motion that there's 4,000. They appropriate $4,620 of park costs into
That's
it's in the cemetery commission for the use of crack patching up to 110 square yards.
second between the two day and trying to swim through and solve it all favor.
Adam side,
So do I.
Vandalite.
Kelly, no. Easy. The next one.
So now I'll make a motion that we approve
I'm taking that.
15,300 Canadian ARPA funds to the Council of Aging Utilities Assistance Program.
Second that. Good.
All in favor?
Adams, aye.
So do I.
All right.
Kelly, I. Thank you.
Thank you.
Merry Christmas.
Thank you. This was, I think,
Okay.
Okay, and next up we have to close out fiscal year 1988, 1989, Titus Complex Swing Heights. Saying that right? We want to speak to it. The numbers I defined them. Oh, I did this.
Well, it has been done. And 10 years. This is basically posting Vegas.
It's 36 in here calls to uncollectible insurance fees that I'd like to close out. And that's fiscal year 1988 and just in 1989. And the sheet that I gave you, there was used. It's good. Yep, that's it. But I gave you the assumption that in 1988, it was in the $520.25 of the total. 1989 for trash fees, $1,358.46. What I would like to support is a vote to abate these receivables so that I can remove them from my records. And all you would need to do is to a motion vote, and I would do the journal as just open date. Any question?
All right, somebody want to speak that. Can we do them together, or do you want us
Just those get
together? All right. Yes, well.
And to further on this is what the auditor's recommendation, because this is actually a tariff, and I cannot write it off without a full vote.
Okay.
And is there? Motion closed after fiscal year 1988 for by the tax. But then at that's funny of me. 1989. Contrast what is our tax?
and I'll start to not stop for a bit.
All in favor?
Adams, aye.
Yes.
Right.
Humble.
Been no, like,
Kelly, aye.
Yeah.
they kissed me to the camera, college program.
So, okay, next up we have the now 25 Chico Lord Vehicle Class 2 license. Good to you, OTR International Encompass Auto Sale LLC.
I'll make a motion that we approve the 2025 annual school vehicle license, Class 2 licenses for OTR International Inc. is Outdoors Auto Sales, LL Small Business. I'll start from that to
Tech. Discussion of questions? Hearing none, all in favor?
Adams, aye.
McGuire.
Yeah, no, I.
Kelly, aye. Oh, thank you. Now, at this point, I have two licenses coming up for each other. As I, Roland wanted to show us, and the students argued that same time with big precedent. I'm going to step away and then send us home to the last year. Never on the fight, which hit in.
Street close the meeting hours.
Yeah, and you can go close the meeting out on to the structure and lower stake on.
Yes.
But it's not. That's someone setting. It doesn't. She wants something else. I read.
Why something date?
I good son. Well, it's like small. How do you feel? That. Thank you.
They must save what? That's they must save what? They must save what? They must save what? They must save what? That's they say Ron gives supposedly here stars feel like is people can get either snap like defensive fuels into oh or you have their own a of some sort meaning like good yeah. It's our already the
Right, ready. So the scene of the movie. Like, how many are we talking? Can the camera?
gosh, it varies. And I mean, the first year I went to the party at Todd, just because that.
I think that's the same. The ones that are not the same folks, maybe when 3 years tell, say you how many about. You might be asking for a hit. How many people actually think
I did. Honestly,
because if you have the same phone, might not think
the same folks asking every single time that you got something needs to be or something right. So well, as a person who also encourages you are all the
People, and it's going along, so that's instead of
totally understand.
Right, boy, it was my good complete base so again.
So it does use a lot to say people. So they say down, have a lot to trade, in and out, in town. Just a thing.
I appreciate them tonight. I think you're an exceptional employee too.
It's late. Just want you guys to be here.
But I am in favor of reducing the amount, giving 4,600 to some to be my biggest thing.
Look at anybody else.
Look, why are you getting targeted in what instead of my that's I'm getting suggested into cheating card.
Just